Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Six for Six, where we bring you the best sporting events to watch this weekend. I'm your host, Trevor, and we got some good picks for you. But before we get to that, we got to get some, announcements out of the way, ladies and gentlemen. First off, look at my shirt, Fantasy Football Legend. It's a great shirt. So far, my fantasy football teams have been doing great. I am in one of my leagues, I am 9-1, and then the other, I am 8-2. So we're looking to make a nice playoff push run. Hopefully, in my other league, I can win the title and go back to back, which would be first in the league's history having a team to go back to back. We have teams who've already won the trophy twice, and I'm looking to be the first team to go back to back. So that's getting that out there. I got to wear this shirt for it. So I'm definitely feeling confident in my team going into the final stretch. I know I'm in the playoff race, taking care of business. So that is that. A couple other announcements tonight, Thursday night football. We got Packers and Titans. So we're going to make this program relatively short to get you in and out to work, enjoying your Thursday night and all the sporting events coming up this week. Also, the World Cup is getting underway. So starting Sunday, we will get some World Cup action. And yes, it's going to miss a little bit of 6 for 6 because I know we're going to be wrapping up after college football conference weekend. So that will put that to a nice bow and conclude 6 for 6. So we got probably 2 more episodes left. So we're going to end on episode 35. Maybe I'll round out to episode 36. And the last update for news-wise is the Bills and Browns game has been moved to Detroit because of the snow coming into Buffalo, New York. It is expected to be 6 feet of snow from what I'm seeing on social media. Hopefully, the people of Buffalo obviously stock up and hopefully the snow melts in a decent amount of time. We are all keeping our thoughts and prayers with you and being safe as the snow comes in because you're supposed to get a lot of snow. So please be safe if you are traveling to Buffalo or live in Buffalo with all the snow that's supposed to be coming your way. And like I said, Bills and Browns game has been moved to Detroit because of the incoming snowstorm in that region of the country. Well, to further ado, let's go through tonight's program. And like I said, I'll go through, the announcements at the tail end, and we'll bring this program to a close. So last week's episode, we went 2-4. Not a great pick. We're eyeing up 100, and we are 6 games away from 100. We're 94, 82, and 2. I didn't like the remaining 2 games I could try to fill in for tonight. So we only got 4 picks. So we're hoping to go 4-0. Perfect. So all we do in the last week of conference championship week, get the dubs are needed to crack us up in over 100 wins, and be a great way to conclude season 2 of 6 for 6. I think this is a great record that we have for our first season that we're keeping track of. Obviously, in the first ever season of 6 for 6, we didn't really keep track of our wins and losses until this season. So we're making leaps and bounds. Season 3, we're going to make it bigger and better. We're going to be bringing you a 6 for 6 social media page so you can stay up with the latest picks, our record, and going on from there. So we'll keep that going. We'll probably make an Instagram and a Twitter for it and a YouTube page to keep everything of 6 for 6 related to 6 for 6 itself. So making 6 for 6 its own thing. And maybe we'll get a YouTube plaque out of it as we continue to grow 6 for 6 because I've been enjoying our picks. It keeps getting better. And hopefully we continue to grow 6 for 6 as a brand in itself. So I look forward to next year in 2023 when we actually drop the social media accounts for this podcast and going forward for there. So can't wait for that coming in the fall. I made that decision and I'm proud to stick to it. But without further ado, let's go through our 4 picks and we'll get you on out of here. So in the 4th slot, ladies and gentlemen, we have the Iowa-Minnesota game. Yes, from Stephen Wang himself. He contacted me. He reached out saying, Trevor, you need to put this game on there for me. So, Stephen, your prayers and wishes have been granted. Yes, fans, you can chime in and reach out to us on our platforms and saying these are the games we should put in for 6 for 6, and you'll get my pick and take on which games to go with. So, yes, if you have games you want to recommend or sporting events that should be on 6 for 6, reach out to our social media pages, and we'll do our best to throw these games in. We'll, have as many games that we can put in, or the most demanding games that people have been recommending will be in 6-for-6 going in forward. So like I said, that's going to be more season 3 and going in forward. So with this game, Iowa, we know Iowa's defense, ladies and gentlemen, has been solid all year. Their offense has struggled. They don't put a lot of points, but their defense can create turnovers. Minnesota, on the other hand, has a decent offense, has a great, strong running game, but can it withstand up to Iowa? Iowa can shut down the run game. Look what happened to Wisconsin, who only scored 10 points. So Iowa's team can shut down the run game. Can Minnesota look to the deep ball, cause Iowa to unload the box so they can't, box all their linebackers down and make it focus on the run game? Minnesota has to spread the ball out, run the spread offense, but utilize your running back to make the slip screen to, stretch her out on the outside, make it difficult for Iowa to contain your running game, but be versatile. Don't be one dimensional and trying to run up the gut, run, halfback blast, trying to run it up the gut or trying to run a stretch. Use your speed of your wide receivers, use the speed of your running back, get them out to open field, turn it up, and you'll be able to beat Iowa. Just look at how Ohio State did. Ohio State struggled, couldn't really get the ball moving going down deep until like halftime. But that's what you have to do. You got to spread this Iowa team out. You got to break it down, be a physical team, because Iowa's going to be there physical on defense, and their offense will just be there slow. If they have short field, they'll find a way to somewhat score or get points. But you got to be able to turn up and get touchdowns against this Iowa's defense, because if you don't, you're going to be in a long fought game, and a lot of teams have faced that this year if they don't get the ball going. So with me, I got Minnesota winning it, and ESPN has Minnesota winning it as well with a 68% chance of victory. So I have to agree with that. Next up in the 3 slot, we got the Bucks and 76ers Friday. Oh, let me go back to the Minnesota game. So Iowa, Minnesota is Saturday, November 19th, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. on Fox, and I have Minnesota winning it. And number 3, we got Bucks 76ers Friday, which is tomorrow, November 18th, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 4:30 p.m. Pacific time on ESPN. NBA action, 2 good teams in the East. You're going to see them in the playoffs. I don't think you can leave them out in the discussion. Yes, the Bucks have been going through injuries. They've been up and down this year. 76ers have been doing great all around, across the board. 7-7, 500 record. Bucks are 11-3. Could I see the Bucks losing, being on the road to the 76ers? Certainly. Early season, you're not going to stretch a lot of players' minutes. But with the record of the Bucks being, 11-3, I don't want them to lose. I feel like they're a team to win, but ESPN has them with a 36% chance of victory, while the 76ers have a 63% chance of victory. So they're giving the edge to the 76ers, but knowing how good the Bucks are with a lot of players being out and injured, it's going to limit to what the Bucks can do. Can I see them losing? Certainly. But I have like the injury report from 2 nights ago. So that doesn't really help me looking at to it. And I built the script last night. So none of it's all up to date. Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, these scripts are built a day before the show goes live. So the injury report is not the most current and most up to date. But like I said, the Bucks are a solid squad to find a way to win it. The record this year is 11-3. Can they lose? Certainly. 76ers are 7-7, but their homestand is, 4-4. It's average. It's like you don't know what you're going to get. It's a coin flip. So that's why I can feel like the Bucks can pull it out, because the 76ers homestand is 500, and the Bucks road record is 3-2, so close to 500. So it's going to be a coin flip in this matchup. But it looks like how the Bucks are performing, they're definitely a team that's going to be dominating it at home. So tough road game for them against the 76ers, but I know the Bucks will find a way to pull this one out. So Bucks 76ers tomorrow, November 18th, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 4:30 p.m. Pacific time on ESPN. Next up, we got two spots. College football, got to put it on there. And I know we got rivalry week next week, but I got Thanksgiving. I told you guys I'm taking Thanksgiving off. So there's all those sporting events to watch. I understand rivalry week is important. I should put games together, get that last, hoorah in. But I feel like we need conference championships, and I think that's a great way to end 6-for-6 for the season with conference championship weekend. And whatever our record is, it is what it is. But we just got to get the wins we need to put us into the race to close out the year, being 100 wins. I think that's the true goal we want to get to by the end of this. So I need 2 wins to give me, 4 wins that I have to get in conference championship weekend. So definitely a key thing that we have a couple matchups where we're going to get some solid victories. Like I said, Bucks 76ers, and I got Bucks winning it. Next up, we got college football. Oklahoma State, number 22 in the nation, versus Oklahoma. Saturday, November 19th, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 4:30 p.m. Pacific time on ABC. The Battle of Oklahoma, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, it's right when you get rivals coming through, in-state rivals. It's always fun to watch these types of matchups. It's always thrilling. Sometimes, the in-state rival isn't that great, but sometimes you really do get some good matchups in in-state rivalries. So it's a classic here, Battle of Oklahoma and Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State has been doing great this year with some losses here and there, 7-3, making, trying to make it a nice 8-3 and go into, rivalry weekend at the tail end of the season, finish 9-3. Oklahoma is looking to stay bowl eligible, going 6-7-5 at the tail end, or maybe they go 6-6. I don't know how this Oklahoma team is going to be looking, but they're trying to look for bowl eligibility. So this Oklahoma team is going to come out swinging. Yeah, ESPN has Oklahoma winning it with a 61% chance of victory, but I'm feeling Oklahoma State has to have the edge on this one since this Oklahoma team has been up and down. But if you look at Texas, these teams both played Texas, and Oklahoma got bushwhacked against Texas. Didn't score anything, but Oklahoma State won in a close fashion, 41-31 to Texas. So there's a lot of even matchups to look at across the board, who these teams have faced. Both of these teams beat Iowa State, so there's some eye tests that you can look at. But I got to give the edge to Oklahoma State, who beat Texas more recently compared to Oklahoma. Yes, Oklahoma has made improvements, but Oklahoma State has just been having a better year, putting up points on the board and just playing good fashion Big 12 football right now, ladies and gentlemen. I think, getting the rival underneath their belt, this Oklahoma team is not the same what they've been with Lincoln Riley in the past, and it's a new head coach. And that's why I'm giving the edge to Oklahoma State. You can catch Oklahoma State, number 22 in the nation, versus Oklahoma Saturday, November 19th, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 4:30 p.m. Pacific time on ABC. Last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, game of the week, USC, number 7 in the nation, versus UCLA, number 16 in the nation. Saturday, November 19th, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific time on Fox. This is the game of the week. The Pac-12 rides on this game of getting into the college football playoffs. I understand you still got conference championship weekend 2 weeks from now, and that's like the last, stand hurrah. But if USC shall fall into this game on this road game at UCLA, the Pac-12 has been eliminated from the college football playoffs. So they're literally riding on Lincoln Riley to come up with a key game plan to beat UCLA. Not going to be an easy task. It's a daunting task on the road at UCLA. Sure, the fan support hasn't been there for UCLA this season, but UCLA has only had 2 losses this year. One to Oregon, the other to Arizona. Arizona hurts because USC beat Arizona. That's why I'm giving USC the edge with the head-to-head matchup. I don't think Lincoln Riley is going to falter here. Could it happen? Certainly. Is it going to happen? Probably not, because Lincoln Riley has been in these top big games before and has found ways to win. The only loss that USC has this year is to Utah. Keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, it was at Utah. Lost to them by 1, 43-42. So literally, USC's loss is only by 1 point, and that is not a bad loss to Utah on the road. And Utah took Ohio State in the Rose Bowl in a close fashion. Sure, Ohio State had athletes opt out, but Utah played Ohio State close. Obviously, different team, new year and all that stuff. But a lot of the coaching staff and what they did is the same maintain for Utah. I think Utah probably still has 2 losses on the year. Don't quote me on that. But at the same time, USC has destined for the college football plays. Literally in their first year getting to the college football plays is leaps and bounds. Like people said, USC of old is teams getting to the Rose Bowl, getting to New Year's Sixes, getting to the college football players, and getting to a national title. That's what the USC brand is. It's like Ohio State. It's like Alabama recently. It's holding up to your team the standard of getting national titles. That's what this program is. Same with UCLA, but for them, they haven't been at that pedestal yet. Yes, they're trying to get to the Rose Bowl. Yes, they're trying to get to a New Year's Six. Yes, they're trying to win the Pac-12. But it's not their year this year. Yes, they had leaps and bounds to be able to contend and get to the college football playoffs and all that stuff, but they faltered to Arizona. And that's where, yes, they can control their fate and get to the Pac-12 title game. Yes, they can certainly control that. But it all boils down to this game for the Pac-12 to the college football playoff. And that's why Lincoln Riley is doing something special at USC, getting USC to the college football playoffs. Sure, he may lose in the college football playoffs because it's his first year with a new team, with the new squad, with the new coaching staff. So trying to figure out those tendencies for a college football playoff is not going to be easy for Lincoln Riley as he gets to that point when he crosses that bridge when USC does do it. But we're looking at this game. Definitely going to be a thrill seeker to watch. I got USC winning it over UCLA. So this game is USC number 7 in the nation versus UCLA number 16 in the nation. Saturday, November 19th, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific time on Fox. Like I said, let me do a quick recap and I'll get you on out here with tonight's announcements. So we got Iowa, Minnesota, Saturday, November 19th, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific time on Fox, and I have Minnesota winning it. Next up, we got some NBA action. We got Bucks 76ers Friday, which is tomorrow, November 18th, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 4:30 p.m. Pacific time on ESPN, and I have the Bucks winning it. Next up, we got Oklahoma State, number 22 in the nation, versus Oklahoma, Saturday, November 19th, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 4:30 p.m. Pacific time on ABC, and I have Oklahoma State winning it. And like I said, last but not least, we have USC, number 7 in the nation, versus UCLA, number 16 in the nation, Saturday, November 19th, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific time on Fox. Now I have USC winning it. Like I said, last week's record is 2-4, which improves our record to 94 and 82-2. Like I said, announcements, World Cup starts on Sunday, and then we have Thursday night football is Titans Packers, and then the Bills and Browns game has been moved to Detroit because of the snowstorm that is inbound to that area. For those who are watching from Buffalo, please be safe as you go out and get your supplies for that snowstorm that's coming your way. Please make smart decisions. Don't travel out if you don't have to. Please be safe in that environment if you live in Buffalo or trying to travel to Buffalo for any reason. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight's program. Hope you enjoy it. Enjoy all the sporting events. Enjoy the World Cup. And we'll catch you next time here on 6 for 6. So long for now. Bye-bye.